All right, guys. Hey, what's up? Christian Alva here from the Electronica Life. Tonight, really, I'm joined by our opening DJ contest winner for our thank you party, DJ Charlie Green. Charlie, do you want to be DJ Green or Charlie Green? We never really
It doesn't
discussed.
matter. Charlie Green works for me. DJ Charlie Green. So whatever my fans want to call me, it's fine with me.
I'll call you Charlie Green because that's what it says on Facebook. So,
All right, sounds good.
and also with us, we have George from Global Dance Electronics. Say hello.
What's going on, guys?
And Miles,
Mixmaster Miles.
Mixmaster Miles. Uh-oh, what happened here? Something happened, but I think we're back on the line. Okay. So, Charlie, Miles, make sure you have a question for Charlie, by the way. We know that you're relatively new as far as being a DJ and whatnot, and I know that you've actually been a participant, so to speak, as far as going to parties and listening to electronic music for a while. But your current DJ name is obviously DJ Charlie Green. Did you ever go by anything else beforehand? Or did you ever think of any other names that you were considering yourself beforehand? And maybe, because you're kind of new, do you think this name that you have is going to stick to you?
Well, I never really, when I first started, I thought the reason why I chose Charlie Green is just, I mean, it's pretty simple. I just like the color green, so I just slapped that as my last name. And, I mean, for me, I just like Charlie Green, and if I think it will fit, I mean, unless I decide to produce something else and maybe go by a different name. And then later on, tell everyone that, this is also me that produces these tracks as far as me being DJ too. But for the most part, I think it'll probably be a name that I'll probably keep for a while.
Okay, cool. Now, I know, but you can tell the rest of the world now that you're on video. How and when did you actually get started in DJing? You can talk about really just go on whatever kind of rant you want.
All right. Well, pretty much like the biggest influence of my life as far as like EDM is concerned was back in about 96, 97. Growing up in the house scene, I was really exposed to Bad Boy Bill and Richard Humpty Vision back in the days, and they're scratching and all that. So that really got me into the whole house scene. And during high school, I was more into trance and more into Armin van Buuren during that time. And then around 2005, 2006, I went back to house and kind of saw Tiesto and went to Nocturnal in '05, and that kind of really opened the door for me because I was exposed to all these different genres of music, and I just kind of played with a little bit of each genre, trying to see like what other artists there were within that genre. And pretty much after that, in 2008, I decided to get my turntables, which were Pioneer CDJ 400s. And fortunately, I took a brief break in DJing for personal reasons for about 18 months. And then I came back this year, decided to buy new decks, which were my CDJ 900s, and decided to take my DJing more serious. And thus far, I've been pretty successful as far as reaching out to new fans and new people to collaborate with and work with, just like yourselves.
Cool. George, I know you have a question for Charlie.
Yeah. I asked Nick the same question, but I want to ask you the same thing. What was that one song that got you into EDM or album?
For me, what really did it for me was Armin van Buuren, Shivers. That's probably like my all-time favorite song. Another house album that I still listen to this day, I can never get tired on, is Deep Dish, George is On. And it's a very mellow, really easy house album, and I think it's like one of my favorites by far. So
Cool. All right.
Miles, you got anything for Charlie? You want to think about that?
Yeah, actually, I have a question right now.
All right. I'll continue.
Okay.
We can ask you this. I mean, Charlie, I think, are you older than your sister, or is she older than you?
No, I'm actually younger.
You're younger. Okay, so I'm assuming that she actually exposed you to the EDM scene, which is probably, I think from just talking to your sister, is probably more house than anything else. So
Right.
let me ask you this question. It's really because you're actually more newer to the DJ side of things, but I mean, although you've had your roots as far as listening and whatnot,
Right.
um, but the term house to you means like what DJs to you? Because the term house to, like, for example, me and probably George as well, um, is a different meaning to us. So what does it actually mean to you, the term, when someone says, oh, do you play house music? What does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, nowadays, I mean, it's kind of hard to really put a DJ that's house music because people DJs are kind of getting mainstream, so everyone's really being exposed to house music. But I mean, I think what a lot of people associate house music is the Swedish House Mafia. A lot of people that are just barely getting the scene, they're being exposed to the stuff they listen on the radio or on Sirius or Electric Area on Sirius Radio. So I mean, not a lot of people know like the underground DJs or house DJs that are coming up, or just kind of breaking out a little bit. So for me, wise, I always try to pay attention to DJs that are coming up from Europe, just such as like David Tort, Norman Duran, and just other artists like that. So I mean, for me, it's a different, more it's DJs that haven't really been discovered and aren't mainstream as, say, David Guetta, if you want to associate with him as house music or whatever genre he is now, or Afrojack, or just other house DJs that are normally are being exposed to the masses now.
So would you say, you mentioned like Richard Humpty Vision and Bad Boy Bill,
Right.
prior to, I mean, did you think of them as house back in the day when you got exposed to the EDM scene?
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's what house was for me. Like, it was more a technical aspect as DJing, because you didn't have all these CDJs and all these fancy equipment that you have now. It's just pretty much all vinyl. And what a house DJ would do is just they would scratch back and forth, switch vinyls back and forth real quick, and just mix nonstop. And for me, that was the style I was exposed to. But now it's a totally different scene, a different total style of mixing. And although I still associate house music to them, but a lot of people don't know them as much just because they're not as popular as they were back then.
It's a different gap right now, different generation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that, I mean, I went to all the older parties, older meaning back in the day parties, and I remember it was EDC in Tulare, I think is where it was basically like, I think it was like 2 hours from here or an hour and a half. It was far, but it was very desert-like. But I just remember like that was the first time I saw Bad Boy Bill play, and it was crazy, dude. Like him scratching, and it wasn't like when Bad Boy Bill was first playing, where it was more like the hard booty house stuff. It was
Right.
more of the when he got into like progress. It was not like what progressives call today, but back in the day, progressive, where it was just more upbeat, disco filtered, and it wasn't so booty at all. It was just like legit stuff, and him scratching was incredible. I mean, even to this day, he's still one of my favorite DJs. And but on the other side of that, I actually went. I think I saw him at Sutra. No, 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 not Sutra. I think it was he. I don't know, one of those types of clubs. And he wasn't playing any of that type of stuff, nor was he scratching. He was playing more kind of like techie, progressive stuff. And I was just like, I came here to see Bad Boy Bill scratch and play funky
Yeah,
stuff.
Right.
It's like,
He's
I
doing the same
actually
thing
left
at-
early. I was kind of disappointed.
he was doing the same thing at Beyond this year. I think it was this year.
Yeah, it was this year.
Like the electro Dutch style. I was really disappointed. I'm like, really? This is not Bad Boy Bill that I hear about. Come on,
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, with DJs now, like older DJs, they always have to adapt to the new scene and just kind of keep their names alive by kind of not necessarily giving up their style, but just kind of adapting a little of their style and influence with what people are listening to now in order to stay up in the game.
Right.
Well, I mean, and I'm not really meaning to break away from this interview with you, Charlie, but what I think is happening through the use of social media networks, internet, and all that stuff is people like Bad Boy Bill or like Doc Martin, for example. All the old guys that used to be, the number one book DJs are now not anywhere in the number one books because people like Above and Beyond, and Paul Van Dyke, and all those guys that are embracing the technology and whatnot, which is why they're the ones getting booked now. I mean, obviously they have to have some sort of credibility as far as talent, but I mean, Above and Beyond's Above and Beyond, Paul Van Dyke's Paul Van Dyke, and Afrojack, and all those guys. Not that I dislike or like certain ones, but they have really embraced the technology, and that is why I believe why they're actually getting booked and why actually our scene is going in the way it's going.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. I mean, a lot of things. One of the main things that a lot of older DJs were concerned about is like, I don't want to leave away my vinyls. I have, milk carts filled of vinyl. As the saying would go. But it just sometimes it took a little bit longer than other DJs to get used to the CDJs when they first came out, and essentially, that could have made made her made them a little bit more hesitant to not switch over because they weren't comfortable with it. They wanted to stick with the roots with vinyl. So
Yep, I feel you on that one. Um, what was the EDM community like when you got started, and how is it now?
well, it's a funny thing you say that is I mean there was no community at all from what I was experienced. I mean I still remember back in the day when my friends would ask me, hey, what type of music are you into? I'm like, oh, house and trance, and they look at me with the blank stare, and they would be like, well, what's house, what's trance, and as much as I would hate to say, is like, well, it's kind of like techno, even though it's not. But I mean, that's the only genre they knew at that time was techno, and but I mean, it was just very, very limited. And there was like not too many people were aware of the underground scene or just like the whole EDM community that was going on or the movement. And now it's just everywhere you go, like I'll tell my friends I like house music. Oh, they'll tell me, oh, what DJs do you like? Blah blah blah. Or they're like, oh yeah, I like this DJ too, and I like this track. So I mean, I think there's more more people are aware of EDM now, and it's great that the U.S. is finally picking up the movement as far as catching up to Europe. But I mean, we still got a ways to go to actually like be as big as Europe, and other artists, other DJs collaborating with singers, and other hip hop artists are just definitely helping the movement grow bigger by producing collaborations with each other. So and that's always good for the community as well.
Yep, I mean, we were just talking about this with Nick Alvarado about how technology is advancing the community really fast by means of people just becoming DJs all of a sudden,
Right.
and production and producing tracks and whatnot. And yeah, what I was saying was that everybody now that has a laptop and is DJing on it or whatever is now like showing, hey, look at, look, I'll DJ the party, and then the
Right.
next thing you know, like these people that were just listening to hip hop are now listening to, electronic music, which is really dope. And I it's don't get me wrong, I think there's a lot of people in the scene for the wrong reason, but I think, as Nick Alvarado was just saying, that eventually they'll mature and find their way into their specific love or maybe a favorite genre,
Right.
and we'll kind of escape. I believe right now that the community is, while it's growing really fast, it's also uh, growing in a negative way because of the way people are being exposed and whatnot. But on the other hand, it's going to be just like how when we grow up as kids, we're going to be learning and maturing and eventually, getting into the things that we're supposed to be getting into and loving. So,
Right. And yeah, I mean, it's a totally different scene from here because I was fortunate enough to go to Ibiza last year and just experience the way that Europeans party at clubs and just at bars and stuff like that where DJs are playing. It's completely different from what I experienced at EDC, Las Vegas, or other masses prior to that. So, I mean, it's definitely different. Different upbringing of EDM people that are getting into the scene, and how you were saying they are being exposed to the some of the bad things, but that's just part of it. But I mean, hopefully they'll mature and just move past that phase and get into the actual scene of making good music or being a better DJ or find that niche of DJing.
yep, for sure. Um, Now I know you haven't played that many gigs,
Right.
but what's the biggest show you've played? And biggest doesn't mean by number of people there, but basically either by the brand name of the promoter that promoted the party or the club name or venue.
Well, it's probably the House of Blues is probably going to be probably my biggest one that I've done so far. I did one last month at Universal City Walk at Jillian's, and it was thrown by House Beat Productions, and that went pretty well. It was about like 75 people there for a Wednesday, so it was a pretty decent turnout for a Wednesday night. And I had a good time. Met a few DJs there and collaborated with them and got in contact with them. So looking forward to some stuff with them too. So it's a good night.
That's cool. Hey, 75 people at a I'm imagining this place isn't that gigantic, so 75 people in a bar slash restaurant, whatever it is, on a Wednesday night is really, really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, props to them. Um, Basically you just already answered the other question. And yes, so are you excited to play at the House of Blues? That's really the next question.
Definitely. I'm very, very excited. Looking forward to spinning for everyone there. What people can expect is probably a minimal tech house. So
Yeah,
you're ready for it.
For sure.
my favorite DJ right now.
Favorite DJ? I would say David Tor. Definitely David Tor right now. Just been I just found him a couple weeks ago, and just he's very talented, and he's coming up.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
Very good producer, actually.
Yeah, he's pretty great. He needs to come over here already.
yeah, that's what I've been saying. But you know how promoters are, so we'll see. Give him
Right.
time.
Hey, I don't know how big is he, like pretty big or what?
In Europe,
He's pretty big in Spain. But I mean, as far as LA, he's still trying to get here as far as the name. He just released his new single "School of '88," which is a solid track.
great.
So
That's a good track, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people know him from that actual and Like Mike song.
yeah, the One Love.
Yeah,
Or
one
One
love.
Look. I'm sorry, yeah, One Look.
Oh, one love. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a great song too.
Yeah.
Great song.
Miles, you're up, buddy.
Oh.
it's like I forgot.
It's like, oh shit, I forget. Right. So what can we expect from you from the House of Blues as far as
I'll probably start off with some minimal tracks, and then probably move into a little bit more tech house towards the end of my set. So probably playing some, probably just minimal and tech house for the most part. Yeah,
okay.
Nice. I'm excited for that, dude.
yeah,
I know because you're a big fanatic on trance, aren't you?
yeah. Like I started off trance, or when I first started my Green Zone episodes, I started with trance, and then I just started going to my roots of house, and all my fans have loved my house sets thus far on my episodes, so I just stuck with it, and pretty much just been doing house mostly, and then I've been experimenting with different genres, just trying to feel things out, kind of always find your niche, and tech house and minimal, I've kind of it's kind of grown on me. So lately, I've been spinning some minimal and tech house as well.
Not bad. It's always good to be open.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep, definitely. That's cool. Um, we're gonna give you a plug right here, Charlie. So, why don't you give everybody your Facebook, your website, SoundCloud, whatever you want? Here's your
All right.
chance.
Well, it's pretty much universal. So if you want to find me, just Google DJ Charlie Green. My website's djcharliegreen.com. Facebook, same thing. SoundCloud, same thing. Twitter, same thing. So it's too easy. So DJ Charlie Green at every social media outlet you can think of.
That's how you brand yourself. Jeez.
Yeah, there you go. Too easy for you guys to find me.
There you go.
Gotta keep it simple.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's cool. Miles, you have any other questions?
At the moment, actually, what do you plan on doing for Halloween after the week of our event?
I'm not sure. I don't have any plans yet. Hopefully, maybe get another gig and spin for some people, but we'll see. If not, then I'll probably just hang out with some friends at some Halloween parties that I'll probably know last minute. So, but no concrete plans thus far. So,
No Massive or Escape?
I'm thinking about going to Escape. With Monster, it's up in the air. Who knows? So,
I think Monster in the air.
Escape has a pretty decent lineup this year. So, it should looks interesting. So we'll see.
He said this year like there wasn't last year.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's so many Wonderlands,
Right?
I'm just messing with you,
Wonderland,
Charlie.
Nocturnal,
I'm
Escape.
I'm just joking.
I know.
All right, well, Charlie, check this out. All right, so I got a question for you.
What's up, man?
Why don't you show us the dance that you did when you found out that you're gonna play at the House Blues? Ready, set, go.
Oh my God, yes! Yes! And then it called, guess what? So pretty much hit up all my friends, like, you better be there.
For sure, dude. For sure. What do you now? Let me ask. I guess I have another question. What do you think is going to happen for you after this? I mean, you've already had some kind of life transformation. I'm not saying that you're gonna become the biggest DJ in the world or produce whatever tracks, but I mean, what do you think it's gonna do for you? What kind of has it done for you already?
Well, it definitely, it's really made me connect with other people that pretty much share the same love that I have, house music or trance or whatever, and definitely hope what I get out of this is just definitely better networking connections and better relations with other people, such like yourselves and other blogs, and definitely just get out there and do guest mix for them, so I get more exposed, and maybe hopefully one day collaborate with a good producer and produce a solid track. So we'll see. It's my first year that I really actually take this serious. So I'm looking for 2012. See what comes my way.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Kind of like what Pacquiao's motto is: if you train hard, the fight will be easy. So
Definitely.
just practice a lot and whatnot, and then good things will come. So
Thank you.
all right, Charlie, that's about it for now. Thank you for being on the line with us today
No problem.
and taking time out of your busy schedule and whatnot. George, Miles, are there any last things that you guys want to say?
Who are your favorite minimal tech artists right now?
What's that?
What minimal tech artists are you into right now?
I like Adam Bayer. And I mean, that's pretty much who I've pretty much kind of started listening to. I mean, Adam Bayer, Alan Fitzpatrick. Those are only two that can really pop in my head right now. So
Good looking. All right, well, that's about it for this interview. And Charlie, we look forward to having you in a couple weeks from now at the House of Blues. Really looking forward to what you're going to bring to the table.
definitely.
I'm pretty sure that everybody else is excited for you. We're excited for you. So thanks
Definitely.
again for actually entering the contest and taking the time. We actually set the contest up that way so we could weed out the people that weren't really dedicated and the people that really were. So thank you
Right.
for being dedicated and taking the time to do that. That's about it, guys. So Charlie, we'll be seeing you soon, and that's
All right.
about it. This is Christian Alva from the Electronica Life. And here we got George. Wave
Over
high.
Dance Electronic.
There we go. And we got Mr. Mixmaster Miles.
Okay, hey.
And DJ Charlie Green. All right, guys. Adios. See you next time.
There, guys.
See you.